Good morning, Class-9. Welcome back to the online session of SST. And in this session, we are going to continue with our chapter. And today, we are going to discuss about the Western disturbances and some of the other factors related that influence the climate of our country. In the last session, we have understood that altitude, latitude, and some of the jet stream which has influenced the climate of our country. Today, also, we are going to continue the chapter with the same thing. Okay, we will discuss today about the Western cyclonic disturbances, and after that, we will discuss about the monsoon in India. Okay, so let us understand first about the Western disturbances. Now, the Western disturbances come from the western side of our country, that is this side, okay, and it originates in the Mediterranean Sea. Now, when we talk about disturbances mean something that disturbs. Okay, so these disturbances is caused in the Mediterranean Sea and the nearby areas. Okay, but when it comes to our country, that time it proves to be boon to our country. Sometimes it also causes loss of the properties, but most of the time it causes good for our country. Okay, in this region where the disturbances occurs, okay, the cloud formation is there, the moisture is there. Okay, then what happens is that we know that in the last class we have discussed about jet stream. When the jet stream flow along this, okay, it will cover up this region. From here it blows like this and comes this side. So these jet streams, it carries the moisture, okay, and this moisture is carried by jet stream and finally it comes to our country. But we know that while flowing along this, it has to face the mountain. Okay, when this moisture is which is carried by the jet stream, when it comes and contact with the Himalayan region, it dashes with it and causes the rainfall in the northern side of our country, that is in the northern plains, in the northwestern north and northwestern part of our country. Okay, so at this time the winter crops are grown well. Okay, why? Because you know that in winter season mostly the rainfall does not occur, but due to the western disturbances the rainfall occurs in our country. Not every time, in some of the years the rainfall occurs in the winter season, okay, in the north and northwestern side of our country, and those rainfall is caused by the western disturbances which comes from the western side of our country. Okay, now you understood that why the winter rain is there in the north and northwestern side of our country during the time of winter season. Okay, but the western disturbances sometimes causes flood in the northern side of our country. Like you have heard about the Kedarnath. Okay, you have heard that Kedarnath was the place was under flood due to the cloud burst. Okay, and that was the cause of the westerly cyclone. Okay, that was the western disturbances which has caused the rainfall in that area. Suddenly the cloud burst has took place and there was flood everywhere. Okay, so this is the reason why that sometimes the western disturbances causes flood in the northern side of our country. So we have understood now western disturbances. Now let us understand about the tropical cyclones. Okay, western disturbances mostly occur in winter season, as I just told you. Okay, but tropical cyclones, they occur mostly in the monsoon season and in the month of October and November. This is the area where the tropical cyclones occur. Okay, now the tropical cyclones which occur in the Bay of Bengal, it moves towards our country. Okay, now you know that in the ocean region there is a high pressure and in the continental areas there will be low pressure. So it moves towards the coastal region and it causes destruction, rainfall, flood in the coastal areas of our country. Okay, so this was about the tropical cyclone. Now let us understand about the monsoon in India. Okay, students, now let us understand another factor that has influenced the climate of our country. Okay, and that is monsoon. Okay, the climate of India is strongly influenced by the monsoon wind. Okay, the sailor who comes to India in the history time were the first to experience and understand the monsoon. Okay, they were first to notice the phenomenon of the monsoon. Okay, they benefited from the reversal of the wind system as they came to sail ship at the mercy of the wind. Now when they came, as you can see in the picture, okay, when the sailors they come to India, that time they got the influence of the monsoon wind. Okay, at this time the wind which has diverged from the equatorial region, this wind has helped the sailor to reach the country faster. Okay, and this wind after reaching the certain part of our country, the northern side, okay, it dashes with the mountain region, again it comes back. That time this reversal wind also helps them to move away from the country. Okay, so traveling becomes easier to our country due to the reversal of the wind. Okay, so this has benefited the sailor which came to our India. Okay, the Arabian people also came to India via sea route. Okay, so when they came to India through this sea route, the trade wind has helped them to travel to our country, okay. And with the reversal of wind also, they have been benefited by the trade wind, okay. So they are able to travel to our country during the time of monsoon with the help of trade winds. That is why they kept the name of this trade wind as a monsoon, okay. Okay students, now let us understand about the Indian monsoon, okay. The monsoons are experienced in the tropical areas roughly between 20 degree north and 20 degree south, okay. To understand the mechanism of this monsoon, the following facts are important. Now we are going to discuss about those following facts, okay. Number one, that is the differential heating and cooling of land and water creates low pressure on the landmass of India, while the sea around experience the comparatively high pressure. Now you know that the Indian landmass and oceans are closer by, okay. Now we know that the land masses get heated up faster than the water bodies, okay. So low pressure is created on the land mass during the daytime. Therefore, the wind blows from the sea to land, okay. And this is reversed during the night time, okay. During night, the low pressure is on the water body and the high pressure well is created on the land. Why? Because the land cools off very fast and the water cools very late. So at night the water bodies are warmer than the land mass. Therefore, the low pressure is created on the water bodies and the wind blows from land to sea. Okay. Now let us understand another point that is related with the monsoon. Okay. The next is here the shift of position of the intertropical convergence zone, that is ITCZ, also we call it ITCZ also, okay. In summer over the Ganga plain, this is the equatorial trough normally positioned above 5 degree north of the equator. It is also known as the monsoonal trough during the monsoon season. Now what does this mean is that during the monsoon season, that is monsoon season mostly occur during the time of summer season, okay. So at this time, you know that the direct rays of the sun does not fall towards the equator, but it falls on the northern hemisphere, in the northern hemisphere towards the tropical region, okay. That is in the 23.5 degree north. That means nearby this latitude, that is Tropic of Cancer, okay. Near the Tropic of Cancer, the direct rays falls. That time the heat zone is created out there. That means the insulation is more out there, therefore the low pressure is created, okay. So we can say that the virtual equator lies at this place, okay. So the insulation on the land is more at this time and the heat zone is created, so the low pressure will be created out there, okay. So at that time there will be a shift of the position of interconversional zone. If the heat zone is out here, suppose this is your Tropic of Cancer, if the heat zone is here, okay, if the low pressure is created here, obviously there will be a convergence of wind out here, okay. So this will create the intertropical convergence zone and the wind blows in this region, okay. It will come towards the tropical areas. So obviously during the time of monsoon the wind will be blowing towards the tropical areas, okay. Okay students, now let us understand about another fact that has influenced the monsoon of our country, okay. Now the presence of high pressure area east of Madagascar approximately at 20 degrees south over the Indian Ocean, which is here, okay. And this intensity and position of this high pressure area affects the Indian monsoon. Now this intensity and high pressure which is created out here, it has affected the Indian monsoon. Now we have already learned that the wind which was attracted towards the low pressure, okay, suddenly get diverged towards the Indian subcontinent. Why? Because the low pressure area which is created out here during the summer season is higher than comparison to the equatorial region, okay. So this wind which was moving towards the equator, when it crosses and it gets diverged towards the Indian subcontinent, okay. At this time the high pressure belt which is created towards the east of Madagascar affects the Indian monsoon, okay. Now apart from this there are other factors also that influence the Indian monsoon. Let us understand those factors also, okay. Okay students, now let us understand another point. This point is related with the Tibetan Plateau, okay. The Tibetan Plateau get intensely heated up during the summer, okay, which results in strong vertical air current and formation of low pressure over the plateau, okay. And this low pressure is created about 900 kilometers above the sea level, okay. So this is also one of the reasons why the wind get attracted towards the tropical region, okay. Now let us understand another point, okay. This fact says that the movement of the westerly jet stream to the northern of the Himalayan region and the presence of the tropical easterly jet stream over the Indian peninsula during the summer creates a movement, okay. this movement will be in the opposite direction. Okay, the first one you can see in the board. Okay, the movement of westerly jet spring. Okay, which comes from this side. Okay, another one is your easterly jet spring, which blows over the Indian peninsula. Okay, this is another one. So this jet spring will also create a movement of air, upper air circulation. Okay, and this will also influence the climate of the country. Okay, now apart from the point which we have discussed, okay, it has also been noticed that changes in the pressure condition over the southern ocean also affects the Indian monsoon. Okay, now normally when the tropical eastern south Pacific Ocean experience high pressure, that time the tropical eastern Indian Ocean experience the low pressure. Okay, so you can understand that the tropical eastern south Pacific Ocean is experiencing high pressure, but the tropical eastern Indian Ocean experience the low pressure. But in certain years there is a reversal in the pressure condition. Okay, that means the eastern Pacific has low pressure now, while the east Indian Ocean has a high pressure. Okay, so there is a reversal. Now this periodic change, this reversal, okay, in the pressure condition is known as the southern oscillation, or which is also known as SO. Now this has influenced the climate of our country. Okay, now this has an impact over the Indian monsoon. Okay, now let us understand another point. Now let us understand another important fact that influences the Indian monsoon. Okay, the difference in the pressure over Tahiti, that is located in the Pacific Ocean at 18 degrees south and 149 degrees west, and another place is Darwin in the northern Australia, which is located in Indian Ocean, that is 12 degree and 30 minutes south and 131 degree east. Okay, the pressure which is developed in these two places have been computed, okay, to predict the intensity of the monsoon. Suppose if the pressure difference were negative, it would mean below average. Okay, and which also says that the monsoon will arrive late. Okay, that is late monsoon. Okay, so in this way these two places have been chosen, okay, to figure out or to predict the intensity of the monsoon. Okay, now one important feature is connected with the southern oscillation, which is El Nino. Okay, El Nino phenomenon is a phenomenon in which the warm ocean current flows instead of cold Caribbean current every 2 to 5 years. Okay, the warm ocean currents which must be flowing past Caribbean coast, and instead of that now the cold Caribbean current is flowing in between 2 to 5 years. Okay, this change in pressure is connected with the El Nino. Okay, therefore this phenomenon is referred as a ENSO. Okay, which also means El Nino South Oscillation. Okay, so you have understood that there are so many facts which is related with the Indian monsoon. Okay, these factors are responsible for the effect of Indian monsoon over India. Okay, now you can understand that there are not only one or two facts, there are different facts related with the Indian monsoon. The most important fact you have to keep in mind is the pressure belt. Okay, so this is all about for today. Okay, and tomorrow we are going to study about the onset and withdrawal of monsoon. Okay, now with this I would like to take a leave from the session. You all take care, stay safe. Thank you.